who's hiring in Roanoke?
Stay tuned to find out. Everybody, it's Hal Cohn
and Kris Cohn with Cohn Realty Group.
If this happens to be your first time to our channel, please make sure you click the subscribe button as well as the notification icon so that you're notified each and every time we release a new video about living, working, and playing in the Roanoke Valley so you can make an informed decision about moving here whenever you're ready.
Definitely. We have folks constantly contacting us saying they want to move to or within Roanoke, Salem, Botetourt, and the surrounding counties. So if that's you, your family, or your friends, reach out to us. We would love to answer your questions and help in any way that we can. You can call us, you can text us, or you can email us.
Well, we are thrilled you're considering the Roanoke Valley, and since you are thinking about moving here, you're undoubtedly thinking about what can I do to make a living when I move to Roanoke.
Absolutely.
And we're going to share that with you today.
That's right. So you need a jobby job.
Mm-hmm.
And there's so much to choose from. When I was doing the research, it's really cool to see how many opportunities there really are. Generally speaking, in the Roanoke Valley,
Our leading industries are going to be healthcare, manufacturing, community service, some industrial, and I'm trying to think what the other one was, and I can't remember off the top of my head.
Retail.
Retail,
but
that
I'm
was
going to
it.
say entrepreneurs too, new businesses. You can also start a new business. You don't see something or you see a need here, start your own business. We would love that.
Yeah, so with this video that we shot today, we're just talking generally speaking what is available here towards the end of January, first part of February in 2021.
Mm-hmm.
And if you look back at some of our older videos, we do have one from last year that we did on the top employers in the Valley. So that'll give you a sense of some of the actual employers here that might line up with your skill set.
All right, this is official. We're going to go ahead and start and dig into the healthcare field. I had to put on my glasses and get my clipboard with all of these awesome job opportunities because I don't want to mess this up.
Well, and we are thankful that you're not going to mess it up today.
Thank you.
So we appreciate you bringing value to the fine citizens of this community. And so we're talking about healthcare. And so before we even get started, let's just say a big shout out and thanks to each one of you that work in the healthcare industry, especially today with coronavirus that's going on. Know that y'all are inundated, know that it's going crazy over there, but we are thankful for you and really appreciate your service and your desire to take care of your community in the best way possible. So thank you for your sacrifice.
Thank you.
Thank you for doing such an awesome job of taking care of those in your current community. So
thank you so much. Agreed. I can't say it any better.
Yeah.
So if you're looking to get into the healthcare profession, here's just a sampling of jobs that were available at the time of filming. The Virginia Department of Veterans Services, hiring at about $43,000 to $46,000 a year. They're looking for a Western Regional Outreach Coordinator and a Veteran Service Representative. So these are activities and administering the agency's outreach efforts. I think that is so neat. I mean, could you imagine the variety in that job? So I think it would be really cool. So they also counsel veterans regarding benefit entitlements and assisting clients to file appeals. So very necessary position there.
it is, yeah. And so that is in Salem. So the VA hospital is in Salem. So if it's affiliated with them directly, it'd be in Salem, Virginia is where the big VA hospital is.
Right, and speaking of big, next is Carilion Clinic, one of the largest employers in the Valley, and they're hiring for, among other things, Healthcare Administrative Associate Lead with outpatient therapies. And this role is to empower physicians and other clinicians, is that right?
That's right, yeah. You got
And
it.
other clinicians to remain as productive, effective, and efficient as possible. I mean, don't we all need that?
I think so. It sure sounds like it to me.
And you have a lot of experience in healthcare too. What's your experience?
I do. So if you want to hear a story about me,
Short story.
short story, I can be short. So I was in school for a long time as far as post-secondary education, right? So with that, I was a pharmacy technician for over 10 years while I was in college. So I worked at Children's Hospital in Atlanta. Learned a whole lot, got to associate with a lot of nurses, doctors, and really impact some kids there through just being putting together IVs and that type of thing. So it was a lot of fun, really enjoyable. But as you can see, I am not in the healthcare industry anymore, but I do appreciate and I definitely have a sincerity for what you do each and every day.
Right, you have a big heart for that. That's
Yes.
sweet. Okay, our other medical center, LewisGale, is hiring for a registrar PRN. So that would be a great position for someone that's really outgoing and makes people feel welcome and comfortable in a time when they're in great need.
Yeah, and I had a great registrar whenever I had to have an emergency appendectomy, like however many years ago now.
See,
they were
you
so
still
nice and
remember.
sweet. Yeah, absolutely.
That's
They made a
awesome.
huge difference. Because
That's great.
some of the registrars that I work with down at the hospital in Georgia, they weren't always so nice.
That's not cool. All right, moving on.
But we're only going to have nice registrars that move down here, right?
That's right. United Health Group is hiring for Med Express for a medical assistant. So responsible for ensuring the well-being of patients and providing a positive, supportive environment for patients and other staff and working with those physicians and everything. So that sounds like it would be a high-paced, energetic job. And there were tons of ideas, tons of job opportunities in the healthcare industry. So I just picked 4.
We chose 4, but as we said, healthcare, big employer here in the region. Tons of options when it comes to healthcare opportunities.
So what's next?
What's next is manufacturing.
The world would not be the place that it is without people putting things together.
It would not. One of the key manufacturers on here that's kind of near and dear to our heart is going to be Cardinal IG over in Vinton. Because we used to have a friend that lived here and moved back to Wisconsin. But he was a plant manager, I think, over there. Loved it. They were always in search of great individuals to work at the manufacturing plant. They had a good base salary as far as hourly rate, and then they also had various bonuses that they could also meet with production goals and that type of thing. So it was really good money at kind of an entry level for manufacturing. It was always my understanding.
Great. Well, let's dig into some more. So Marvin Windows and Door are hiring at about $12.50 an hour, a production associate that's responsible for operating manufacturing equipment, using hand and power tools, finishing products, and reporting any issues with equipment supervisors. So very vital role there. Universal Logistics Holding is hiring at $15.50 an hour, and they're looking for assemblers. So if that's your jam, call them up. All right, next up is Capstone Logistics, $550 to $725 per week. You could be a warehouse associate, premier provider, and they are a premier provider of third-party services and distribution centers across the nation. So I was not aware of them.
I did not know that either.
No. Intricate is hiring for $14 to $18 an hour, a quality technician. And what they do is really interesting. When we did some research, some stamping, tooling, and custom automation design for manufacturing services. So that's really neat. Who knew that level of manufacturing and design would be here? And that reminds me of that show, How It's Made. You know that show?
Oh, yes, I do.
love that show. I would love to go into some of these manufacturing plants and see how things are made. Wouldn't that be fascinating?
Maybe that's a YouTube channel.
There you go.
Or a show here in Roanoke. As we've seen as a, let's see, what's the word I'm looking for? Global community, you know, retail is changing, right? Because we are all about Amazon, Amazon, Amazon. Almost like we used to be about Google, 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 right?
Online shopping,
yeah.
deliveries, pickup.
So that is taking away from some of the retail. And you know us, we love local as far as like local retail shops to support small business owners. However, there are some larger retail stores here and retail services that are hiring here in the Roanoke Valley. Some of those would be...
Well, this is another category that had quite a few openings. So let me just dive into retail. Start at Barnes & Noble. Who wouldn't want to work at a bookstore? That sounds great. They have openings. They have openings for a bookseller or a barista, a cafe server. Barista. As a bookseller, you're responsible for selling by providing exceptional customer service. You definitely have to have good customer service. Another retailer would be Kroger, one of our larger grocery stores in the area. And they have retail clerk opportunities available. And I just saw Aldi has an opening as well. So an interesting store there, Aldi is. All right, the next one is Ashley Home Store. They're hiring at about $35,000 to $45,000 a year for a visual merchandising assistant. Now listen to this job description. It sounds really cool.
I'm listening.
I wouldn't have this talent, but somebody does that has that creative brain. Visual merchandising and display of furniture and accessories throughout our Ashley Home Store and Homemakers Furniture and Design locations throughout Southwest Virginia.
That would be so much fun if that was your jammy jam, not my jammy jam.
And we have a friend that actually works at Kohl's doing their visual displays. And I'll tell you what, it is an art form.
It is.
I mean, really, there's a lot of strategy behind it. And I admire how he makes it look so easy, and it looks really, really good.
And that just made me remember, actually, my grandmother, Nana, who lived down in Florida at Walgreens. She worked in like the cosmetic beauty area.
Yeah.
So she was in charge of doing those displays back whenever she worked there. So
I wonder what era that was, like.
that was in
50s?
the 70s and 80s. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, that's neat.
So yeah.
Cool.
Shout out to Nana.
And then another one is Plant Partners. They're hiring at $11.50 an hour. A little similar to Ashley Home Store opportunity, but it's a garden center merchandiser. And you create attention-grabbing displays with beautiful live plants, and you fill tables and hanging baskets with their product. So how cool is that?
That reminds me of the end caps in grocery stores. So it'd be probably like an end cap in the in the garden center.
Yeah.
So that it's like everybody has to come to it and they spend money on it. So that's like bam, dollars in the cash register
That
for
would
you.
be really neat. So check that out if that's interesting to you.
Okie dokie, artichoke. Let's talk about professional services, because that was a really professional introduction, right?
That's right. I guess we would be in this category as realtors, right?
I think so.
Services.
Yeah.
I would say so. So the first one up is, and lots of options in this one too. I mean, really, I was surprised at the amount of openings in winter. So, I think it's a good sign.
Here's the ones that jumped off of the screen at Kris. So just an exploratory option here for you.
A little sampling.
That's right. Yeah, there we go.
So Glenn Robinson, Kathy Memmer, and Scaff is hiring a legal assistant for $20 to $23 an hour. That
Pretty
sounds
good money.
good.
Yeah.
Navy Federal Credit Union is looking for a member services representative part-time. So a lot of part-time options on here, which is good. I know I enjoyed that when I was staying at home with our children. Having a little part-time job on the side was very helpful. Musgrove Associates is looking for administrative assistant and receptionist. Now, that is what I love. You know me and my love for organization and Excel spreadsheets and customer service, and I just love that. I love being behind the desk, and I love helping out with administrative stuff. So if that's you, look into some of these positions.
That's why we work well together, because that is not my jam.
But you're so
But she does
good.
a great job at what she does and keeps us humming along to take great care of you.
Thank you. You're exceptional on most everything else.
I try.
So Mosley Real Estate School, there you go. They are hiring for $50,000 to $53,000 a year for a student service representative, and that is someone that needs to be dynamic, professional, and they'll be the primary point of contact for existing and potential students to look into their real estate program.
Very interesting.
Yeah.
I didn't know that was such a opportunity.
There you go. And then Royalty Consultants is hiring at $36,000 to $54,000 a year for an entry-level customer engagement position. So very interesting.
That is interesting. I haven't heard of that type of position before, but very engaging. So those of you who have been along the journey so far with us, have been watching our videos, learning all about the Roanoke Valley, you know that back in the day, Roanoke was a booming railroad town. So with that, we want to kind of we want to give a nod to the industrial services industry here in Roanoke now.
Yeah, quite a few options in this one. Starting off along the railroad theme is Genesis Rail Service. They're hiring for $17.50 to $20 an hour as a railroad ballast cleaning operator. Cool.
If you have that job, call me up and let me know exactly what you do. It sounds very interesting.
I want to know what a ballast is. Sorry for my ignorance. I should look that up. Americold is a leader in providing technology-based engineered solutions for the temperature-controlled supply chain industry. That's a mouthful. But they are hiring for a warehouse order selector at $16 to $17 an hour.
I've seen billboards for that, so it's still true.
Bluestone Resources is hiring at $14 to $16 an hour for a receptionist, administrative assistant, and this is a mining industry. Yeah, Bluestone. And then Coca-Cola Bottling Company. What's your favorite Coca-Cola drink?
Cherry Coke.
I knew it. I just love regular Coke. It's so yummy. But they're looking for a part-time checker. So I'm thinking a little QA, QC. It says to verify the accuracy of pallets going out to customers. Make sure you didn't swipe one.
Make sure you didn't swipe one, or that your customers are getting the right thing. Because they're not going to be very happy if they're short a case of Coke.
That's right. And make sure computer-generated order tickets are organized. So neat job.
So let's jump into really some of the backbone employees of our community, which would be community service workers. So we're talking about like police officers, teachers, firemen, those types of professions that just keep us humming along here in the valley and beyond, even in your current community.
And you truly are essential. So thank you very much for going in day after day and putting forth all the effort that you do and the sacrifices you make. So
yeah, and on the teacher front, I mean, you have had to just adapt almost every day is my understanding. So thank you for that. And those of you who are protecting us and serving us in, police officers, firemen, fire ladies, all those types of things. Thank you for your sacrifice in making sure that we're safe and we're taken care of here in our community.
Yes, thank you very much. The city of Roanoke is hiring a crime analyst for about $40,000 a year. I know, dun dun dun. And this job, you would be researching, analyzing, and preparing crime data, statistics, and reports. So very valuable information. Certainly something you want to look up when you move to this area or any new area.
Yeah.
And then the United States Postal Service is hiring at $17.29 and up. They had quite a few positions open. One of them included city carrier assistant. So that's really cool. And
why is that special to you?
I know.
With you?
My dad used to work for the USPS. That's where he retired from. He was a front desk clerk and in our main post office downtown. And so he would always see all of my friends' parents. I could get away with nothing, y'all. I mean, they talked all the time, and he would come home and be like, hey, I heard about blah, blah, blah. I'm like, how do you know this? And my mom worked for an orthodontist office, so she got the skinny on all the teenagers, too. It's very, very cool. They kept a pulse on things. But,
yeah, good old small town feel, even though we have plenty in our population.
That's right. So next is Bedford County Public Schools at $75 to $92 a day. They're hiring a substitute teacher. That would be cool.
Ooh, Lord have mercy. You substitutes now. I have an appreciation for you for sure. So for those of you who have listened to some of our videos, you probably remember that I was a previous high school teacher. I taught high school for 3 years, and I didn't even want to be out because I didn't want to put the substitutes through the pain of coming in and having to take care of the kiddos, because it was always drama, it seemed like.
Really?
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
I think I would like that. Just be like, hey, friends, I'm new, and they're excited, and you're excited.
Yeah, they're excited, all right, because they're going to take advantage of you all day, and they're going to be, like, mean and, like, not listen and follow directions. So, and that's probably because I was a little bit too nice as a teacher, so they were not fearful of the wrath of Coach Cohn when he came back to the school.
That's funny. The Virginia Department of Social Services is hiring a human services assistant at $24,000 to $30,000 a year. They would serve as an initial point of contact for clients seeking benefits or services and provide support to the benefits and services team.
Now, if you're looking for something creative and something outside of the box when it comes to opportunities, listen in right now as she tells you about some of those here in the Roanoke Valley.
Yeah, and there were a lot of fields that we didn't go over, and a lot of specialty fields too. Things like food service, hospitality, high-tech jobs. There's so much to choose from here. You can really dive in, dig into your research, and you can find what's available.
Yeah, you could commute over to Christiansburg, Blacksburg, for Virginia Tech if you needed to, if you lived in Salem, that type of thing. So you've really got a large expanse of radius that you could choose from.
That's true, but a lot of jobs here are here in the valley too.
Yeah,
so
absolutely.
Let's run through some of these that just stuck out I thought were really neat. So Taubman Museum of Art, right downtown Roanoke. very amazing museum is hiring for $10 to $11 an hour, a museum and gallery host. And they would ensure that visitors to Taubman have a positive experience and maintain a safe environment by protecting the art collection and the exhibits.
Yeah, because I'm sure no kids ever try to touch any of those. I know it's ours never have.
Oh, they have. They got it. I was like, stop it.
No!
Top Shelf Trivia is hiring for $20 to $25 an hour to be a trivia host and music bingo MC. Yeah.
I didn't know that was such a thing, but it sure sounds like a cool thing. If I had extra time and I just wanted to chill and make everybody have a good time, I think that would be it.
Kind of environment, that would be fun. In our vet's office, VCA Animal Hospital is hiring a kennel assistant to care for the boarded and hospitalized pets. So, you know, that takes someone very special with an animal heart, and knowing that those pets are so traumatized, just to get in there and show them love, I think that's really special.
Yeah, special person for sure. Because anytime we went out of town previously, had Christian, the old sea dog, take her to the kennel. It was not the most pleasant experience for us. We wanted to find just the right spot with employees that really, truly cared for those animals.
That's right. And then Camp Allegheny for girls. $214 to $400 a week. You could be a camp counselor, and you'd be making a difference in children's lives, of course, and get to live alongside the Greenbrier River. Not too shabby of a workplace.
No, not at all.
That kind of reminds me of that summer I was a camp counselor with YMCA. It was so much fun. It was so hard with all these children, but it was so rewarding. And I tell you what, leaving them, the first day I was like, what have I gotten into? When I left the last day, I was crying. It meant the world to me. I'll never forget my time as a camp counselor. So as you can see, there's a wide variety of opportunities in quite a few industries around. So hopefully some of those spoke to you and you were interested in. And if not, again, you can always forge your own path and become an entrepreneur.
Yeah, and if you just want to get some more information on the Valley just a couple times a month, make sure you subscribe to our newsletter so that you can get that email from us twice a month. And then make sure if you have any questions at all, call us, text us, email us, and we'd be happy to help.